What's good with YouTube? You already know Big Flacco with a convict's perspective, and where I smash, dash, slide on through. That little bit of energy. Please hit the like, subscribe, comment, do all those things to help support this channel, and hit that bell notification for future fire content. So I was tapping in, watching all this stuff that's been going on like the last 24 hours. As you guys know, I wasn't on YouTube, man. I'm trying to approach the subject a little bit different, man, as opposed to like, some of the topics I've seen, and a lot of it circled around the word active and inactive dropouts and whatnot. And this is my whole perspective of things and what I've been stepping back and watching. It seems that people are starting to play the same prison politics and YouTube politics, and they're trying to combine them into one on all different levels, man. And let's be very clear here, man. You know what I'm saying? The political spectrum of things, that how they work in prison, do not apply out here on the streets as far as in the YouTube world. This is YouTube. Okay, this is a place where you can provide content. You can provide whatever lane that you choose to follow. Some like to discuss more historical things. Some people like to do profiles. Some like to do current events. Some people don't even like to speak on prison, but have that prison background. Whatever it may be, but the whole focal point of what I'm seeing is it's the same thing that you would see in prison that you see on YouTube. Hate. It all comes down to hate. Anybody that's lived in that prison political world, right, where you had to be some type of associated with either a organization or a member of one, you understand prison politics. You know what I'm saying? Where there's a lot of corruption, there's a lot of betrayal, there's a lot of haterism, a lot of hate, man. Same thing on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? People are campaigning and they're trying to place themselves in position to where they're this channel or they got this type of support and whatnot. At the end of the day, man, it's kind of superficial if you really think about it, man. I was watching the videos that Dubs and Gunner did, because I kind of feel like I get thrown into this type of all of us do, especially the ones from up north. We get thrown into that inactive dropout status as far as when it comes to YouTube channels. I look at myself today as a grown man, you know what I'm saying, with a prison history that knows about that prison life because I was once a part of it, as opposed to some people who are out there, never been to prison, never walked that life, and even out there in the guys really with those activities today, who feel that they have the liberty just to speak on things, which they can speak on whatever they want, but let's just call it what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's hate. People don't want to see other people succeed, so they want to thrive up on the sweat and blood of other people's work and try to bring them down to build themselves up. And that's just what I'm observing, in everything that I've been seeing on YouTube. I've been doing this shit for over 2 years, man. And there's people that will hate you without even knowing you as a person. Whatever your past is, whether it's good, bad, credentials, or whatnot, they're not judging you for who you are sometimes today, but maybe for whatever past that you may have. It is what it is, man. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, right? But I agree with some of the other channels that did videos on this subject, which I'm trying to go a different route, but it's hard not to overlap into things that they discussed. First of all, yeah, dropouts are those that were part of an organization, those that were deeply involved, those that were part of one of the organizations, criminal organizations. Everything else were listed as movements. You have to have left one of those organizations to be categorized as dropout. Everyone else is either inactive, active, whatever or not. And everybody has a different story. Some people don't want to speak on their story. That's fine. Some people don't want to put out their whether what yard they pro from, whether they're SMY, whether they're 50-50. That's their choice, man. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter. It's kind of really irrelevant, because what's more important is what you're doing today. What are you doing on YouTube? And it's so easy to get derailed from doing positive work, having a message, and doing your own type of a lane, when you got people who just want to speak from the outside because they feel a significant amount of importance. You know what I'm saying? And some of these channels, you know what I'm saying? Like, it has to do with where you're from at times, man. I've already heard it. Sometimes people hate on us just because we're from up north originally. Our origins are there, and they're gonna hate on that because they have that distaste and they have that disliking. Maybe because we were more involved in the mix than they were. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's just their own inferior complex. So it gives them something to attack you on. You know what I'm saying? And it's just YouTube politics. You know what I'm saying? Campaigning, trying to belittle others, trying to push your agenda. And but the thing is some of these channels they never been to prison that speak upon these things. And even if they've been to prison, some have been on lower levels and were never in that mix. They don't know how to politic. You got to remember, a lot of us used to politic. That was our whole thing. We used to have to play. We used to have to vie for positions. We used to have to campaign. We used to have to do all that stuff, man. And some of us did it righteously. Some of us did it corruptly. I don't know. I can't speak on anybody else but my own. You know what I'm saying? Um, but this is what you observe. You know what I'm saying? You can't. A lot of it's just hate. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of it is because some of us have bigger platforms than other platforms, and some people want to leech on that. And you know what I mean, speaking upon us, they think they're gonna get there. It's real easy to, like I said, I truly feel this. If you're on YouTube, you're not an active gang member. In my personal opinion, that's how I feel. Because if you were, you'd be out there in the guys, you'd be out there conducting other type of activities and functions, not over here speaking upon it, not over here speaking on grown men. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? In life, now we're all entitled to an opinion. We're all entitled to have our lane in what we do, but too often people put titles, they associate titles to everything. And a lot of times that has nothing to do with who you are today. It's like, say you were an active gang member years ago in North Daniel or Sudanio. You're no longer that person today. You're this person. Or some of us were pinteros. You were convicted like 15 years, 25 years. You're no longer that convict anymore. You're a person today. Now, do you have maybe convict mentalities and perspectives of things? Of course, we all do. You know what I'm saying? Once you've been to prison, you've been laced up in um, whatever life that you lived behind the walls. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, there's different types of experiences we all had. Some of us were on level threes, fours, and shooter yards. Some people were on level ones and level twos. Some people, they did no time but the county jail. Now, am I knocking those when they speak upon these issues? No, I'm not knocking them when they speak upon the gang lifestyle or whatnot. As long as there's a message in what they do, you know. I think there's a lot of people who speak on things that are above their head at times. You know what I'm saying? But if you do so in a respectful fashion and you're not out to hate on other individuals, then by all means do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like I said, I seen all the recent hate, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of it, man, I'm gonna give my personal opinion on it right now, is people basically fucking hating. It's dudes that were never really with those activities on the level of as far as playing prison politics that are throwing around titles and labels that they really got no business speaking upon. First and foremost, I'm from an era when it was like this. If you weren't part of where I'm from politically, then you got no business speaking on me or any of my people. That's how it used to be. If you were a fucking a sureño that had fallen out of favor, right? It wasn't my business if I was active, it wasn't my business to speak on you or anything. As long as you came by and showed me respects, I show respects. It depends on where I was at, if there would be any type of interactions. That depends. And the same thing could be said of us. When we had dudes that had fell out of favor, there used to be dudes that were whites, Southsiders that used to do business dealings with them. Used to chop it up. That was not our business because they are not from where we're from. They don't fall under our bandana. The same thing can be said on YouTube, but nowadays you got people who just feel the need to be involved in other people's business or being worried about who a person is or what they're about. If they're not part of your group or what you represent, then it's kind of irrelevant. Your opinion of that really it doesn't mean shit because even in a prisonist climate, you know what I'm saying, you would not deal with anything but your own people. You know what I'm saying? Your business would only be whatever your group you align with. And see, the YouTube thing gives people an opportunity to speak upon other people's affairs and other people's businesses. You know what I'm saying? Their titles, like I said, nobody's judging people as men like they should. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, whatever you did 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, you could have been a super killer. You could have been a rider. You could have been a hitter. You could have flipped. You could have did all this. None of that's relevant to me today. It's what you do today currently. Where do you stand as a man? What is your agenda? What is your push? But you're going to experience YouTube politics, because this is the only thing that people can use against you, is whether you're active or inactive, drop out, whatnot, because they got nothing else, because they know that you are probably more laced, have more experience, more credentials, and are more qualified to talk on prison politics, even within their own functions and faction, than they are. You know, Therefore, you're going to be subject to attacks. You know, it's a sensitive topic, man. And that's why I'm saying YouTube politics and YouTube and prison politics. There's YouTube politics shouldn't even exist, man. You know what I'm saying? But this is where the hate gets real. This is where you start to see that people are looking for reasons to attack people based upon who you are and what you are. And it's never who you are, what you are. It's who they want to fucking identify you as. Because what you may have did 5 years, 20, 15, 20 years ago, you're not that person. Like some of these channels, they never went to prison. They may be street gang members, but you're not that street gang member no more. Are we supposed to judge you who you were 25 years ago and keep that title and label upon you? That you're from this set, fuck that set? No. You're a man today. And that should be given to, afforded to every person who's in this YouTube stuff. You know. It's a lot of times the prison genre on YouTube and the street genre and the raza genre, they all overlap. And a lot of people are tuned into the same channels, and somehow we're all in the same circle of things. You know what I'm saying? So there's going to be a lot of people who are competitive. There's going to be a lot of people who are mad because they want to do what you're doing. And the only way for them to achieve any type of success is to try to knock you down. There's people who are just like that. When you're worried about what another man is doing, is what you call jealousy and envy, and it's called hate. Now, if they don't take a shot at you, there's no reason to take a shot at them. Now, I do convicts reactions, and when I do my convicts reactions, I really walk a very respectful line. I rarely ever have anything negative to say about any other channel. And if I have a different perspective of things, reaction, I do it respectfully. But I'm not going to denounce you because you've never been to prison. I'm not going to denounce you because you dropped out. I'm not going to denounce you because, you're related to this person. No, I'm just going to give you my perspective and reaction to such. See, I learned a long time ago, being involved in the prison politics, that seeing good dudes fall off, experiencing my own trials and tribulations and so forth, that I get judged from time to time over. I learned that I got to judge people as a man today, who they are and how they act towards me, and that their story that maybe has been told has only been told in one limelight, and I may not know everything around what caused that. Whatever my beliefs may be, I got to sit there and recognize that, hey, there's more to everybody's story than what people maybe know. You know what I'm saying? And some people never walked in those shoes to understand that, and that's the truth of it. You know what I mean? I have my personal opinion on those that have walked it, that have not walked those shoes that I want to judge, but that's my own personal view. And it does nothing to achieve anything on this YouTube stuff. End of the day, positivity. And see, this is the example of how the negativity can be surfaced from within and from outer sources. Is you got people who maybe have an agenda, what they want to push. You know what I'm saying? You have to be unilateral, and you have to be transparent, and you have to give people a fair assessment, and you got to be non-judgmental of all those that have the equal push, because otherwise you're going back to the same thing that we experienced in prison and in the streets, and you're putting labels and titles upon people. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't matter. Everybody's a man. You know what I'm saying? Before anything. You know what I mean? You got dudes that hold on to the title active, who fucking get fucking pee on themselves fucking a heartbeat with half the dudes that ain't active. And that's fucking the reality of it, man. You have dudes that fucking are not active that are weenies. That ain't with that action. Being with that action is like this, man. It's any one of us that we're ever about that life can go from a 180 turnaround and be about that action and not give a fuck, regardless of what their past is, because we don't forget where we're from. We don't forget our schooling. We don't forget our experiences. But is that the people that we want to be? No. I'd much rather have a positive push and help someone that's struggling over here. Or, I went to a movie premiere recently that was on fentanyl addiction. These are the things that I want to be a part of. I don't want to be a part of competing on who's active and who's not active. No, that fucking takes away energy from things that are really important. And it makes viewers not look at the important message that you may have. You know what I'm saying? This is just my perspective, man. The hate's real. know what I'm saying? People sometimes are just not going to like you. It could be from geographically where you're originally from. It could be the way you look. It could be the way you talk. Or some people may be fucking inferior to you secretly, but don't want to display that because you have the experience, intelligence that they wish they had. Whatever it may be, man, you just got to keep it pushing. And as viewers, separate the real from the fake at times. You know what I'm saying? I think that everybody could have something positive to say if they choose to focus on that. There's some that base their channels around drama and theatrics. There's some that really want to have a positive push, but no matter what they do, they got people from the outside trying to knock that down. And I think I fall in that category. No matter what I'm trying to do positively, there's always someone that wants to knock me down. But ain't nobody has the right to judge anybody, to be honest with you. The only one that does is, as we already know, the man above, whoever your higher power is. Keep on pushing, keep on pulling, people keep on striving, and just do the best that you can. But I am kind of irritated with YouTube politics coming from people who have no fucking no justification to even speak upon, man. Back in the days, you'd have to be an authority figure to even speak on these type of issues, man. But now everybody, you have a 12-year-old kid that's over there fucking typing and calling people dropouts and shit, man. Learn about the past to understand the present, and don't allow YouTube politics to influence. And people, subscribers, viewers, like people jump from one channel to the other channel trying to say this person said this person said that. If you ain't hearing it from the source, then there ain't nothing to be said, man. But is there a lot of fuckery on YouTube? Fuck yeah, there is. People love that shit. Is there a lot of fucking misrepresentation on YouTube? Fuck yeah, there is. People love that shit. Is there those that still want to push a righteous agenda? Yeah. Is there those that want to bring change into the communities? Yeah. But in doing so, you got to have some type of fucking platform that gravitates viewers to what you're doing. And so sometimes there could be some dramatic scenarios that we place ourselves in. But being a platform content creator and being true to yourself, sometimes you're going to speak your opinion when it's valid. There's a difference between trying to speak your opinion to try to create a circus and speaking your opinion to speak facts and letting that message fucking take its course. With that said, it's your boy Flacco. I'm gone.